Justice Con, just looking at Justice Con, Justice League was on Saturday, and then Army of the Dead was all day Sunday. So it would be showing that Zack's moving on to a degree. And I'm sure if Warner Brothers come in and said, we want you to do more, like, it'd have to be demands there, of course, to get freedom and stuff like that. But I think the money at Netflix, the freedom at Netflix, the exposure that Netflix gives a product, why not just do that? Like I said, after I watched that, I don't know if you catch that trailer for, I'm going blank in the name, Jupiter's Legacy, that new superhero one that's coming out.
Yep.
It kind of looks a bit like The Boys as well. Like, why not just say to Zack, Netflix, say, okay, Zack, create us a superhero world with original superheroes. You pick them.
Do you think he could just do his Justice League trilogy, but with a bunch of different characters, like the exact same? Like, yeah, this is not Batman, and look, he's gonna do this, and this is not Superman. Yeah. There's nothing stopping him. Warner Bros. Don't have the rights to his non-story that's just mythically out there in the ether that supposedly doesn't exist. Like, I'm sure he could be cheeky about it.
Yeah, I think that could be a good way going forward. Make his own superhero world over at Netflix and create his own superheroes. Why not? It's Zack Snyder. I'm sure he could create some pretty badass superheroes.
Yeah.
And like, he takes a lot of inspiration from a lot of comic book writers, bring them in as producers. Come on, I think there's something pretty cool there. But yeah, I think Army of the Dead will be the first of a franchise of movies, live action movies. Because I love the zombie genre anyway, so I'm excited that my favorite director's doing it. And there's also the prequel coming as well with the Safecracker. I think it's originating in Germany. I think it's going to travel to France and stuff like that all over Europe. So that's cool. And then the series as well, the animated series. So that won't be the end of it. If they greenlit two projects of Army of the Dead without even, well, they've obviously seen Army of the Dead, but without seeing how it was going to perform, then they're pretty in the Zack Snyder game. And if Zack Snyder can attract big stars like Dave Bautista, if he can attract, Joe Manganiello to come in for the animated stuff as well, he has big connections all around Hollywood. Actors, everyone loves him. I think he would build something pretty badass over at Netflix. If it's a ZombieVerse, whatever, I'd be cool. I'd be down for that. Zombie World by Zack Snyder, him being the spearhead of it, bring other directors in for different movies, go ahead. Or if Zack was able to create his own superhero world with new original superheroes, because look at what The Boys has done, Amazon's Invincible as well, just complete hard or superheroes. But let's see some that have never been seen before by Zack Snyder. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and just thinking about it, like, I would absolutely kill for an episode of The Boys to be directed by Zack. Like, it's such a good show. If not just to, like, I don't know, maybe get those people to shut up who are just always talking about how Homelander is basically Zack Snyder's Superman. You're like, you do not understand know anything about Henry's interpretation of Superman if you think that Homelander is what Zack is trying to make him. But yeah, I that's just like a perfect intersection, right? Zack Snyder directing an episode of The Boys. But I'm also very hyped for that to come out. But we're not talking about The Boys today, as much as I would love to. I think you're right, though. I think it's no matter how attached Zack is to these characters and to the DC universe and whatnot, there is a very powerful sentiment, at least within the fan base, to just encourage Zack to go work with Netflix, who actually give a shit about you, who or maybe it's not even that Netflix give a shit about him, it's just that they don't treat him like shit, and they don't treat their directors like shit, they don't treat their fans like shit as well, who have to beg for all these projects, who have to say, please give us this movie and I will give you the money to watch it, so yeah, I mean, as much as I'd absolutely love to see the Justice League sequels that he has in mind, I would much rather watch, ZombieVerse stuff, Zack's doing his own other projects, like I know he's got the King Arthur project, potentially, and other stuff, just so long as knowing that he was actually just working for a studio that's just like, hey, here's the money, do your thing. And yeah, maybe hopefully, the Snyder Cut in general just gives people a better appreciation of just allowing directors to do their own thing. But who knows, maybe we're being idealistic. Just saying, it'd be nice if a studio didn't treat people like shit.
Yeah, it's not us closing the lid on the Snyderverse. We want to see that as well. We want to see Justice League 2 and 3. And I still do think we will get some sort of expansion to the Snyderverse, whether it be a Deathstroke series, Jared Leto, something. I think something will happen. I don't know if it will be the expensive Justice League 2 and 3, but if you look at Amazon, who are
Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings series, I know a lot of it is the rights to buy Lord of the Rings, but still, I think on average they're doing 8 episodes for the Amazon Lord of the Rings series. Each episode is going to cost 30 million each. That's ridiculous. That's an extreme amount of money considering Game of Thrones per episode is like 10 million. And I think The Walking Dead per episode is like 1 or 2 million or something like that. So that just shows you the levels of all these kind of high profile shows. Like Walking Dead and Game of Thrones have arguably been the biggest franchises in TV over the last decade or so. And that shows you how much they're putting into it. And then you have Amazon putting 30 million per episode. Like, it's crazy. And I think, HBO Max want to catch up to Netflix, to Amazon, to Disney Plus, and Disney Plus and Netflix aren't sparing any change either. So everyone's spending big money. So if you want to be up there at the dinner table with the big guys, you have to put money into it. You really do.
And that's the thing with the Snyder Cut. That kind of seemed like the first indication that Warner Max or whatever, AT&T, Warner Media, that's the one, was serious about, their streaming services, saying like, hey, we've got a lot of stuff here, but the Snyder Cut is it's ours, this is our big thing, this is our big flagship. And then what? Nothing. No communication, no reports on any streaming data, from official streaming data. Every single thing that's coming out after Zack Snyder's Justice League, we've gotten the numbers from, documentaries and shows and all that. They're tweeting out, yeah, bunch of you watch this, bunch of you watch that. And every time it's like there's nothing to do with the Snyder Cut. And it's bizarre, but obviously we don't know everything that's going on. Maybe they're going to do a huge reveal at the end of the month and be like, whoa, this is crazy. We've given Zack 10 billion to do his sequels. But, it's strange. It's strange. So I think you're right. It's all of these streaming services need to really, really coming up to the table with big bags of money. And they're saying, we're not here to play around. We know streaming is the future. So, we've got Lord of the Rings, we've got The Boys, Netflix is like, we've got this, we've got that. Disney's got all the Marvel stuff and Star Wars things. Everybody has come out with this big thing that they're super serious about. And HBO Max is like, well, we had the Snyder Cut, guys. I know they've also got other shows like Flight Attendant and whatnot, but it's like, that shit's not really going to be giving you the big money that you're looking for. But
and right now there's a hope for theaters because Godzilla v Kong is doing pretty.
It's doing really well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think movies like that are coming out, the Marvel movies that are coming out in the next few months, Fast 9, I think those will help box office in the theaters. So how long will this HBO Max on the same day as theater release happen? For like the Tom and Jerry's, the Wonder Womans, the Mortal Kombat. How long is that going to happen in a world where everyone's getting vaccinated now and everyone wants to go out and experience life again? So, like, what if you take away Matrix 4? If you take away all this HBO Max originals, what do HBO Max have left, or the HBO Max movies that they've got? Like, how many originals do they have left that actually get you excited to subscribe? I can't really think of too many off the top of my head. I'd watch Flight Attendant and stuff, but there's nothing really else there,
That same day HBO Max release was their big money play, wasn't it? I think they maybe just think that this is going to tide them over for a year. And it may well do, but as you say, as soon as you get to the end of the year, what do you have left?
Yeah. And Netflix have everything because they're only on one platform. Amazon have everything that they've brought out because it's only on one platform. Disney Plus, like, fair enough to Disney Plus, you're getting original shows, might be corny and cheesy and family stuff, but you're also getting WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, The Mandalorian. So, like, you're out of all the streaming services, in the best possible shape would be every one of them bar HBO Max. Maybe that's some awesome shows and movies lined up because we know Green Lantern Corps and all this stuff, but they're not even filming now. I don't even know if they have the scripts ready, so it's hard to get excited for something that
we said this before. It's like you need to. It'll only be when you're sitting down and actually watching it do you actually believe that they've actually made a show and haven't just cancelled it because they just can't be bothered with it anymore.
So it will be interesting to see what state HBO Max is in when all those movies go back to theaters and Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there's no continuation of that story. What else do they have, and what do fans want, and what do subscribers want? Because a thing like Godzilla versus Kong, for the money it's made, Legendary aren't going to agree, or are the studio, the main Warner Brother guys who want the box office royalty money, are they going to agree to Godzilla v Kong 2, just to say, for example, to be on HBO Max again, considering the amount of money it's made now? I don't think so. You know what I mean? So it is interesting, but I think Zack Snyder He's going to create his own Army of the Dead franchise. It's already happening. I think we're going to get sequels to it, more spin-offs, and I think there's more of a possibility of Zack Snyder creating his own original superhero world on Netflix, something like that. But let's not lose hope for the Snyderverse. But it's Warner Brothers. I'd rather put my money into Netflix now than HBO and Warner Brothers.
It's hard to see, like, after Army of the Dead comes out and when you see whatever numbers it does, it's hard to see like Netflix staying quiet. It's hard to see Netflix not just going, I mean, or they've already been loud, you know, as you say, they've already said, you know, do these prequels and do all this for us. But, you know, they're very quick with sequel announcements. Like, there's Netflix had a show based on on Dota, the video game. And, you know, it's an anime and it came out, and within like, I don't know, like 2 weeks after it coming out, they put out a tweet saying, yep, we're doing a second season. Like, they're just on it, quick. They go, okay, a lot of people want to watch this, we're going to do it. And there's nothing stopping them from doing that, because they're just like, we want to make money, you know? So I have no doubt that within like a month of Army of the Dead coming out, within several weeks, that if it does, as Netflix hope it does, they will be, you know, at the very least promoting everything else and saying, oh, if you liked Army of the Dead, we've also got these other projects in the works, you know? Just do anything to contrast what Warner Bros. Have done, Warner Media. Yeah.
It gets you hyped. After you see Army today, you're like, oh my god, this is pretty cool. You don't have too long to wait for another movie in this world. The Statecracker one, the Army of Thieves is called. And then you have an animated one as well for people who like animated stuff. It's going to be in anime form anyway. So that's all awesome. And then you hear that Army of the Dead 2 is coming. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. Even if Zack doesn't direct it, you're still excited for the franchise that he'll be the spearhead for it all. So yeah, it's like the Snyder Cut came out. We all know it did well because of the buzz online. It's hard not to keep. My grandma was talking about it. You know, everyone was talking about the Snyder Cut, and for them not to have a follow up with that, or even more excitement and engagement, to say, okay, we don't know if it's financially possible to do 2 and 3. That would be fair enough. So we're going to do Deathstroke movie for 30 million, and people are like, cool, that's a good compromise. Okay, cool. Maybe Ben Affleck would make a cameo, Commissioner Gordon, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of world building within this world that we already love, and then we'll still be happy to watch the Flash movie, Katana, or all these kind of things, because we're getting everything, and you don't see any unbiased or anything like that. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But Army of the Dead looks action packed, looks insane. The zombies look, you know what's cool? I think there's going to be people that were in Las Vegas and say they were dressed up as Elvis Presley, but they were dressed up as a zombie Elvis Presley, and then they got bitten or whatever, and then now they're actually a zombie. That would be that'd be funny. But did you read the set leaks today, or not set leaks? Jesus, the set visit reports today by some of the journalists?
No, I only saw those about half an hour before we went live. But no, I did see that quite a few journalists got invited to the set, but it was crazy. It was all the way back in like the end of 2019, and I'm like, fuck, that's such a long time ago, man. But yeah, what did you see?
Well, I didn't read out everything about it because it was like Stephen Colbert, Screen Rant, you know, on Twitter. He had a big report, so I'm going to read that now later. But there was a few other guys that had smaller ones, and just like I think the virus originated from Area 51, which we kind of knew about as well. These zombies are like something we've never seen before, and the ending is supposed to be insane, different things like that. So it just gets me even more excited for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
It does look pretty good.